Happy Friday. So it's been a while. I think it's been about 2 weeks, and the reason being is I got very sick, and so I was not eloquently able to speak, which is very unfortunate and out of my control. However, I am going to make it up by posting every single day missed, which I think was about 5 episodes. I'm going to be posting every single day from here on out to not only make up for those missed videos, but to hold myself accountable. And, to be completely transparent, I did not plan for the unforeseeable circumstances. And so, to better prepare and to continue to hold myself accountable, because I made that commitment of posting every Sunday and Wednesday for you all, is to have a few extra episodes recorded so that if there is something that is out of my control, I am able to put it out there and be able to still provide value and to continue having these conversations and these discussions and to just continue this YouTube channel and to continue to grow it. So, I'm able to, touch on so many different topics, discussions. Sometimes I'm reading my book at 4 a.m. and I'm like, I think I might, film a YouTube right now because, just my mind starts getting flowing and just different ideas and topics that I would love to share and discuss. And with discussing, make sure you leave some comments below. I'd love to hear any feedback and, whether you have questions or maybe some other topics that you would like me to touch base on and to discuss. I would love it and very much appreciate it. So today, with all of that, let's talk about accountability. First, I'm going to talk about accountability from your perspective, from the customer side. And then later on, let's transition into vendor side. So with that, let's get into another episode of Tech Talks. So, when we're talking about accountability, and I just want to first start off by saying that accountability for myself is huge. Whether that be in my daily routine and in my business practices. And when I say accountability, it's really holding yourself, the customer, accountable for, whether that be for your team, your customers, your, partners, whoever it is that you are providing value to, that's when accountability takes place. So let's just start off, for example. You, customer, have your mission is to provide the best customer experience possible for your customers. And let's say we're in the age now where customers want to be contacting and they want to be communicating through other medias rather than just getting on the phone. People are trying to, create efficiencies I know I do it sometimes as I'm doing something else, but then I'm able to chat to get an issue resolved. And so, when you're having to provide the best customer experience possible, let's just say in the realm of technology, whether there's so many more ways to hold yourself accountable, and that's another discussion is customer experience. I'm gonna be putting out an episode about that because there are so many different aspects and parts to customer experience. It's not just technology, but there are so many different parts of technology that can lead to an enhanced customer experience. So that is on a later day and time. However, but for today is, accountability. So whether, when you have that's your mission and that is what you are providing to your customers, holding yourself as a team and the IT department or the marketing department is making sure that is what you are providing to your customers. And whether that be, that you are on an old on-prem contact center, and your customers are wanting to contact you now through those different medias. It's holding yourself accountable. Okay, this is what they want, and this is how they want to contact us, and this is what we are providing for our customers, is wanting to provide the best customer experience possible. Then let's start looking at how we can do that. And I always say the word how. It's not what we should be doing, it's how can we do it? How can we be providing the best customer experience? And so, it goes with accountability, is holding your team and yourself accountable to what you are presenting to your customers and what you were saying that you were going to do. And when you hold yourself accountable, it leads to so much growth, because when you are saying that you are gonna do these things, and you don't procrastinate them, or you don't hold off, or you don't say that you're gonna do it and then can't keep a promise, because at the end of the day, that kind of leads into lost efficiencies, because you prolong this experience of going through these processes to get to the goal that you had set. And now it's been a year and you haven't done anything, but there's been so many discussions about doing something, but just no action has been taken. So it kind of leads back to that whole idea of accountability, because you want to be able to hold yourself accountable. So one, you don't waste time, and two, you don't create a less efficient environment. And at the end of the day, when you're holding yourself accountable, your company can continue to grow, because then you are able to really not promise, but you're able to leave, or to execute, that's the word I'm looking for, really to execute how you're supporting your customers. And with anything, customer retention is a lot more growth in the company and ROI, rather than having the churn and having to try to find new customers and marketing, and just that's another topic of conversation. But it just all leads down to accountability. Now let's talk about accountability from a provider's perspective. So let's say, for example, you just invested in a let's say email security company, and they said that they could do all of these bells and whistles, and that they could help to create, maybe they even tried to promise you a completely protected email environment, which, let's just say, that's not my opinion, and from what I've seen, no company should be making that promise, because at the end of the day, that is not the goal of implementing email security. The goal of implementing email security is to mitigate your risk. It's not to diminish, but it's to mitigate as much as you can. And so with that, though, is going back to the accountability, is say they just promised all of these different things, and now you went through the sales process, you signed the agreements, and now you're implementing it into your environment. And it is, let's just say, 2 months after implementation. Actually, no, let's say it's been 2 weeks after you've gone through and implemented, and your, let's just say, email is crashing, for example. Something I've seen. It's holding the providers accountable for what they promised and how they said it was going to work. We know technology sometimes right off the gate and right off the bat, it doesn't all fluidly work. And so it's making sure that you are finding providers that are able to support you through after the sales process, and you're holding them accountable to what was presented and what was signed during the sales process. And this is just something that really hits home with me, and just that what I really want for customers of providers to be able to have is that accountability from the provider's perspective. Because there's been too many times that I've seen and even myself from a consumer perspective, going through the sales process that I was promised all of these different bells and whistles, and in reality, that was not actually something that they could do. And now it's holding them accountable to figure it out, make sure everything's working. Because it's with anything is when somebody can't be held accountable for what was promised, you have to have a solution. There's got to be something in place that can make it work. And whether that be something that wasn't fully promised, or whatever it is whatever that solution might be. For example, in the email security space is holding them accountable to get it to work. Because at the end of the day, it's time, and you don't want to have to go there through a whole entire implementation process. You already went through the sales process, and this was going to be the best fit for you, and now you're sitting there spending hours with customer support or whoever it might be that you are having to really deal with. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to accountability. If something doesn't work in the beginning, have the provider be held accountable to, one, make it work, and two, make your experience better. And it just goes with anything, is even with customer experience, is that accountability aspect. And so it's kind of when you're looking to take your company through a different roadmap or a different path, and whether that be because you are investing in a new technology, is not only knowing what the process is going to be before, but knowing really what it's going to be after. And even doing a proof of concept as well and I touched base on that. I like to use, instead of using proof of concept now, I like to say proof of value. Because at the end of the day, when you are testing a product, you want to see the value. You want to see how it works in your environment. You want to see how this product can help my company. And so, with that is doing the proof of value. Is the company saying what they say that they can do? Now let's look at it in my own environment. Is it working? Is it working with my current environment? What exactly is going on, so I can make a justified and realistic decision. So with that, I appreciate the just tuning in and watching and just listening. And I would just love, like I said in the beginning of it, to have more fluid dialogue and discussions, because that is all that I'm here for. I love to have conversations, and I just want to be able to put out as much value as I can, and just making sure to continue different conversations. Sometimes these conversations are on mindsets within the technology space. Some of the videos are let's get down nitty gritty. How will this got a little ahead of myself. How will this technology help my company? Or how will I be able to take my company to a different direction because of a technology? Or where should I look, or what should I be doing? Or even if you're in, for example, I'm gonna do some videos that are very more keen in on specific verticals, for example, like retail, and different product sets that are able to continue growth in the retail space, and kind of what I'm seeing now and how I see the industry going, and how will these different technologies help. So with that, I just kind of went on a little ramble, but I appreciate everything, and I will see you tomorrow for the next episode. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,